Welcome back once again. It is about ALAAFIN of Oyo, but we are going to focus on 2 women. Of course, you all know that 4 women ran away from the palace, from ALAAFIN of Oyo's palace, ran away from the marriage. But we are going to focus on 2 women. 2 women. The talk out there is that there are certain issues that are ongoing, very abominable stories that are out there about these 2 women, and you'll be shocked. And these 2 women are Olori Badirat and Olori Dami. Now, the talk out there is that 2 of them are fighting for one bula, for one person. 2 of them are fighting. And you know what it is? There was a time that one of them said that all the rumors, all the talk, or whatever it is that I put out there are all lies, they are not true. Why? Because she thought that saying this will kind of bring about forgiveness from ALAAFIN of Oyo and she will be returned in. Why? Because first, they are used to these parties and expensive and popularity and fame. And, when you don't pay electricity bill, you don't pay nothing, you live in a free house, you eat, you do this, you do that. Now that you have to hustle and struggle for yourself, and you have to keep up with that standard, so people will not say, oh, now that you left ALAAFIN, you are now smelling. They want to do whatever it is that it takes, and they don't want to go down. They don't want to go with someone who does not have money and someone who does not have the fame and all of that to maintain that lifestyle, to keep up with that photo shoot that they like to put on Instagram. You know what it is? So they want to go extra mile. It is either we return back to where we ran away from, or we get someone who can fulfill, who can maintain our lifestyle. And that is where this abominable story begins. So with Olori Dami trying to return back to the palace, and of course she couldn't, well, on the other hand, Olori Badirat, she still has some means of sustaining herself, and she doesn't have to think about probably going back and all of that. She still has people around, although there are talks of how she has finished people's home, how she has wiggled herself, wiggled her bomb right, left, and center, and disrupted people's home. Yes, these are talks out there. Now, there is a man that is close to MCOLUOMO. It's called Kudeti. And, Olori Badirat and Dami somehow are kind of having a relationship or whatever it is with this one. And, Dami recorded Olori Badirat when she called her, asking her, what are you doing with my man? What are you doing with Kudeti? And Olori Dami kind of tried to act and pretend like, who is Kudeti? This is where they decided to put all their, stories out there. It became a viral, and it was just all out there. Well, eventually, it seems that Olori Dami was able to wiggle her waist very well and took Kudeti off from Olori Badirat. So, what do you think of these women? What do you expect? Like I told you at the beginning, they need a man to fund their lifestyle and nothing more. So what Olori Badirat did from the story that is reaching us is that instead of going for the men that surround MCOLUOMO, she decided to shoot a arrow straight. And what we heard now is that Olori Badirat and MCOLUOMO are the ones, both of them are the ones doing the in and out thing right now. So from the palace to the Tog house, to Park Tog, Agbero house, that is what it is right now. Well, somehow some people are saying, well, that it's not so bad if ALAAFIN of Oyo does not go into some deep traditional things to tie women and all of that those things are not acceptable anymore. We live in a civilized world. You cannot say if a woman leaves you, her life has to be tied forever and all of that. Because somehow what we are saying is that within seconds, apart from the rumors and the talks of I did this, you did that, you are doing that with this woman, right, left, and center, it's like within seconds, before they step out of the door of ALAAFIN of Oyo, they are already out there. Someone is already jeshe, cutting them, they are washing plate, and they're already servicing them and all of that. They are doing a lot of things, So, well, like I said, those traditions are no more like people's leg are longer now. So even if a king says, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to tie you up like this, there are people who have longer legs and they can go extra mile to get themselves free from whatever covenant that is out there, or whatever it is that they get themselves involved, or wherever or whatever they might have put them into. So all of these idols and whatever it is that they might want to get involved in marriage, and none of those things work anymore. Or it is either ALAAFIN has decided not to put these things, implement them, or these things don't work anymore. Before, they would say a king, even the Chanel, the Canadian Jamaican woman that left Olu of Iwo, she repeatedly said that the king told her, no one is going to get married to you. You have a stigma on you. There is a mark on you. Anybody that gets married to you and all of that, blah, 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 blah. None of those things work anymore. I'm not saying that traditions and those diabolic or what metaphysical, whatever things do not exist. They do exist. But it seems that whoever it is that is getting involved, unless the person is not a Nigerian, whoever is getting involved with these kings or whatever, they know what they are involved in and they already have their own spiritual backup, something to protect them, or something to negate, something to neutralize whatever it is that might want to be put on them. Now, somehow, this Olori Dami, maybe it was just a short-time service with this Kudeti, one of the right-hand man of MCOLUOMO. Now that she's not getting funds, she's not getting money from this Kudeti anymore, that one probably is like, before this matter becomes too wide, let me just take and remove my hands from it before this lady tried to tie me down or something like that. Now, she decided to return back to the palace, and ALAAFIN of Oyo gave instructions to the palace guards: do not open the door for this woman or your job is at stake. Well, she has one child, a son, for ALAAFIN of Oyo. On the other hand, Olori Badirat, working with MCOLUOMO, they are going to take it an extra step from what we are hearing. It's like MCOLUOMO is about to marry Olori Badirat. Now, people are kind of saying, oh, after leaving the palace, so MCOLUOMO, you are now trying to get married to the wife of, well, she is no longer wife of a king, according to MCOLUOMO. Once they are divorced, they are divorced. And like I told you, apart from royalty, many people have gone extra mile when it comes to all of these spiritual things. So if you say you are a king, if you don't stand well, someone who is not a king will show you pay. So that is the one that we are hearing right now. MCOLUOMO, is going to settle down, marry. Of course, he has other women. He's going to add Badirat into his own harem. And with all of the issues that surround MCOLUOMO as regards NURTW and all of those Agbero jobs, well, I know MCOLUOMO has acquired and he has made a lot of money. And of course, as you make, you spend. If you make in millions, you want to spend in thousands or in millions also, depend. Now, we are not sure if the income will be stable. Yes, we know that they are trying to find a way around it to make Lagos State cut off from the rest, or maybe they'll have two bodies, NURTW, and they will have Lagos State tax, blah, 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 and all of that. We don't know what it is. But if the income is not coming, MCOLUOMO is rich from what he has done over time. Of course, with politicians and whatever it is that they get. We don't know if Olori Badirat will continue with this, being that the source of income and position of MCOLUOMO has been cut down. So we don't know what Lagos has to do with these women that left ALAAFIN of Oyo's home, because it's like once they finish up with ALAAFIN of Oyo, for whatever reason it is, this next thing they do is to move into Lagos straight to their contact. And maybe it's as a result of their background, being that some of them are they are Muslims, and it is accepted and allowed for them to marry more than one wife. Maybe for whatever reason it is, African tradition or whatever it is. The point is that these young ladies care less about nothing. Of course, I know they have children already, or maybe from their own home too. That's what they see. That's what they've been seeing. That's how they grew up. It's like they are only interested in married women, or are we going to say already established men? They don't want to go with single men, and maybe no single man wants to carry the load of another woman who has a child and who already left a king and all of that. So they go for people who can carry that extra. That is what I think. What is your own thought about this?